episode of Healing with a Tarot. My name is Amy, and this week we're doing a message from your higher self. Before you are 3 cards. We have Manifestation, Enlightenment, and finally, Visualize. Please take a moment to sit with the cards, use your intuition to pick which card calls to you, and then go to tarot readings on Healing with a Tarot, and in that playlist you will find the associated reading for your card. If you need longer to pick, then please do pause the reading here. Without further ado, let's get on with your reading today, shall we? Hello, my beautiful card number 2s, and today you chose Enlightenment. Okay. Evolution is guaranteed. This is the message today from your higher self. You are waking up from your old habits and patterns. At times you may feel bewildered or not quite like yourself. Relax, all is well. You are just keeping up with your evolution and the life that you desire. Your body and mind are adjusting and adapting to your new and loving soul perspective. It is common for your mind or body to resist, react, or panic when you experience the unfamiliar or unknown. However, from this higher vantage, you can change any story that splits you in two and heal any wounds. You are not trying to replace a negative memory with a positive one. Instead, see all the components of a memory so that a new conclusion can form. An unbalanced memory recreates the trauma every time it is talked about or remembered. This event or person will be blamed for pain in your life today. A balanced memory has no charge or activation. It becomes wisdom. You may even come to see a challenge as the best thing that ever happened to you. Once you change and heal your opinion, enlightenment will shine through as wisdom. I can tell you that having done 13 years of shadow work back to back, and I sat for hours and going through memories. Now what I did, this is just the way I do things. Everyone has their own way, so don't all I'm doing is sharing my perspective and experience with you so that you can take that away, and then if you feel it would make things easier for you, you can use it. If not, you can still use that for your own model to find your own way through, if that makes sense. So what I did with my shadow work was I actually sat down and I asked my guides to start giving me memories from my past that needed healing, that needed new perspectives, that needed me to re-examine. And then I started, it was almost like it would rise up from within me, from the depths of my past and my soul, and I would see the images, the memories replay in my mind. And then it would keep repeating, but it would keep repeating every time I'd look at it from a different perspective. So it was almost like I was doing a 360-degree view of the memory, examining it from different angles in a neutral perspective. So rather than actually having my feelings in there, my own unique perspective, I opened my vision up to incorporate everybody else's view, everybody else's motivations, everybody else's reasons for that lesson, for that, for the circumstances behind it. And then I actually would do like staged view, an examination of it. I would get all the conclusions I could, and once I'd actually learned what was needed to be learned, the memory would release and I wouldn't come back, because I had completed my lesson. I'd completed my healing an analogy of what it was that was supposed to teach me. And then I also practiced forgiveness, and I practiced gratitude for each thing, because even when it's a negative memory and it's a negative experience, we are souls here on a mission to learn, and the souls that interact with us are teaching us lessons. We have soul agreements with those people. So rather than getting caught up in the emotions of the lesson, rather than getting caught up in the resentment or in the hurt, in the pain, I would heal that through forgiveness and heal that through gratitude, and thank the souls that were in my life for teaching me those hard lessons, because it is often the in heaven, the ones who are closest to us often teach us the hardest lessons. So keeping that relationship of being part of the one Christed mind of God's creation, and understanding that we are all soul family, it allows us to get a better grasp and grip on being here in this life, because it's so easy to get lost in the illusions of being here on earth. The realm of duality is a realm of illusion, because it's a realm of contrast. And in heaven, there's only love. In heaven, there's only light. In heaven, there's only truth. Here on earth, people can lie to you. Here on earth, people can hate you. Here on earth, there is separation. But in heaven, we have unity. We have love. We have peace. We have truth. So, it is about understanding that as a soul, enlightenment comes through these lessons, but it is a lesson. It is not personal. Do you see what I'm saying? You could take it personally, of course, because obviously you've experienced it, and it is part of the lesson to actually have those feelings and thoughts and emotions. But it's the holding on to it that it becomes unhealthy. We must be able to learn to release our lessons. We must be able to learn to release the pain, and that comes through forgiveness and gratitude. It comes through shadow work, healing, and perspective. The Ace of Cups, the Ace of Water, falling in love, the resurgence of a relationship. I think for you, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition. I don't want to narrow the message, because this is a general reading. So it could be, for some of you, you are going to fall in love soon. For some of you, there's a resurgence of a relationship that you thought was over. And I think, if it is that, it's going to be the healing that you've done to yourself that allows the door to open to that past relationship again. But as I said, I feel with this card, it's about spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, which comes from enlightenment. It comes from the path that you're walking. As you grow, so does your gifts. As you grow, so does the path before you change and grow and develop. And it could be that you are going to be finding a new home. Maybe you're finding a new home in your heart. Maybe more chambers of your chakra are opening as you learn and grow. You're learning heart lessons. You're learning forgiveness. You're learning love. You're learning self-love. The most important lesson of all is self-love. Because as I say to people, and I teach self-love because I'm learning it myself. As I learn lessons, I teach it to others. Why? Because it's so important. Like, as a healer, I see it all the time, and it's painful to see how people's the earth has eroded their love for themselves, and it breaks my heart to see that. You are such beautiful souls, all of you on planet Earth. You really are. In your own way, each of you are so unique. You're all an aspect of Source. And it's seeing beyond the earthly persona to the beauty that lies within you, and know that you're worthy, and know that you are loved beyond measure by Source. You truly are. the capacity and the depth of love that is in heaven is way beyond the human heart to even hold. I actually once had, I prayed to God about feeling God in my heart space, because I really wanted, I invited God into my heart and to stay and to be with me. And it took 3 days. And when God arrived, my heart felt like it was going to blow up, like literally the amount of love. And I said to my mum, oh my gosh, I said, I've got so much love. I said, it's overflowing to the point where I don't know what to do with it. There was just so much to give. And I didn't know where to, at that point on my spiritual journey, I was not ready to house that much love inside of me, because I didn't have it for myself. I didn't know how to give it to other people, right? Because I didn't know how to give it to myself. It was a lesson, because I say to people, if you really want to be good at giving love, you have to know how to receive it. You have to know how to give it to yourself. You have to be fully in love with you. And I'm not talking about narcissism. I'm not talking about lack of humility. I'm not talking about, the place where your ego wants to take things when it comes to love. Love is an unconditional force that needs no explanation. It needs no conditions on it at all. You can give yourself love freely and not feel bad about it. And you should. And that's self-love. And that should stretch to your boundaries. That should stretch to your communication with others. And when you become aligned with your enlightenment, when you become aligned with your true love of self, you line up with authenticity and awakening to the soul, awakening to your higher self, awakening to your mission here on earth. And I feel like you are in the process of doing this right now. That seems to be the message. 7 of Earth, which is 7 of Pentacles. This is about watching your garden grow. This is about the bounty that is coming into your life. This is about your spiritual growth. I mean, look at this tree. Look at all the seeds that are starting to burgeon and grow. You are on that journey. I feel like for some of you, maybe you're feeling at the minute a bit stagnant, like, well, I've made all this progress with my spiritual path, I'm on this journey, and yet I feel like I'm not getting anywhere with it. There seems to be a pause, but it's divine timing. Everything happens in divine timing. I had that recently with my spiritual path and journey. I was just like, oh, I'm on this path and everything's going, and then all of a sudden it all just went quiet, and I was just like, well, I thought that I was on the right path. I thought it's understood. But it's not about your ego's sense of time and when things should happen. It's not about you making it happen. It's about allowing space for the divine to make it happen for you. So, you're worrying unnecessarily about your path, where you are at the minute on your journey, and you do not need to, okay? You do not need to be focused. Your ego is making you focus on things that you do not need to focus on in order to keep you safe, in order to keep you engaged in the drama. But you need to tell your ego to back off. What I do with mine is I imagine that I'm a little me, right, in my head, and there is a big, massive, oversized chair. And then I pick my little me up by the scruff of the back of my neck, and I put it on the chair, and I say, now shut up and stay there. And that's my ego. And if you do that, your ego will shut up. That's mine anyway. Have a go at it. I find it quite comical to have that little image in my head. And it does actually work. 4 of Water in reverse. So look, missing an opportunity, discontentment, boredom. Well, this is actually clarified by that. So I think, for you, this is definitely a season of discontent, a season of stagnancy. So you are feeling despondent, and I don't want you to feel like that, because you just need to open your eyes to the possibilities. You're not going to miss any opportunities, okay? The ones that are for you will be for you. Everything that is for you will come to you because it's yours. It's not someone else's, it's yours. And if something isn't, like, if you haven't got the home you wanted, that's because it's not the right home for you. If you haven't got the job you wanted, that's because it wasn't the right job for you. Okay? if you're not with the right partner, that's because they weren't the right partner for you, right? So everything in life is already planned out by your higher self, by your soul, before you get here. And you have soul contracts and agreements with the souls that are going to help you on your journey, that are going to be your partners, that are going to be your family. Everything is already preordained in heaven that will play out. Your spirit guides have the map to that plan. You have free will to choose your path to certain points on your journey, okay? But it doesn't matter about how you get there. If their things are for you, they're going to be for you, because they are the points on your path, on your map, that are destined. It's called destiny. It's called fate. That you're destined, fated to be, meet, do, experience. Okay. So this is an egoic thing to do, right? To actually worry about the temporary pause, worry about the fact things aren't going the way you think they should go, right? At the end of the day, you're being told by your higher self today, stop focusing on that. Stop worrying about that. Stop investing and putting energy blocks in place, because I can't give you what is yours if you're going to focus on what is not yours. It's not yours. Let it go. It's not yours. Just be happy. Be peaceful. Allow me to bring what is yours to come to you, and you will be happy. You will have love, you will have satisfaction, you will have peace. And you're being asked by Spirit today to start being a bit more disciplined with your, what you're focusing on and what your life. Organization and logic, structure, discipline, leadership. This is also an egoic. This is the divine masculine, okay? This is divine masculine quality. So it might be that I have some guys watch this. It's about leaning on the skills that you have within the divine masculine part of you. For women, we all have the divine masculine. We are in balance with our yin yang. We all have the same qualities on both sides of sex, female and feminine. It's just obviously with women, we lean more on the divine feminine side of things, but the masculine is still within us. And we can swing between both sides of the fence. I mean, I went through years as a divine masculine because, I had to lean on those qualities more than my feminine ones to survive. But start getting organized. Start really thinking about it from your heart space, what it is that you do want for yourself in life. Do the healing, do the path, walk the path that you've got before you, and show some leadership with yourself. Let go of the negativity, let go of the stagnancy. Just know that what's coming is yours. Know that you're on the right path. Know that it will open up, and know that the more healing you do, the higher your vibration gets, and the more good things can come to you, because you've let the old go. Right, I've got some message. You're being asked to take action. Spirit's asking you to take action. So, organization, logic, structure, discipline, leadership, action. Transformation. Through healing, it comes enlightenment, and you're being asked to transform. This was in pile 1. It might be that you might find some messages in pile 1 that help you as well. Change. Change is always hard, but it's necessary. And it looks to me like you're being asked to, you're going through change at the moment because of these cards. Because of the message that I've just spoken of within them, about the fact that, your soul, you're working with your soul family, you're working with your mission, you're working with your healing, you're going through a period of change, great change right now, and transformation, and you're being required to take action on that pathway towards making things happen for you. As much as everything that will come to you, it's not going to come to you if you sit stagnant, focusing on what you don't have, rather than going and getting what you want and what you do. Keep it simple. This was also in pile 1. about the manifestation. You might want to actually, because this pile is actually about enlightenment, it does connect to pile 1, because in order for things to change for you, you will need to manifest. So I would watch pile 1 as well and see if there's any advice in there that might help you on your pathway, and get into the flow. Now, getting in the flow is to do with being in divine it's getting out your own way, because at the minute you're in your own way. You have, if you are feeling these things and this is your pile, then yeah, definitely, you have sown seeds and they are going to grow, but they're going to grow in divine timing, not your timing. Your perceived stagnancy, your perceived blockages, maybe not even be there at all. If you can actually get out your own way and allow time and space to actually bring what is yours to you, you go into the divine flow. And, keeping it simple, don't overcomplicate your life or your relationships. Heal yourself and you heal the world. And I've been talking about healing in this reading, so this is definitely the message today. Universal love is true love, so love all. I talked about universal love in this message today. Inner space and universal knowledge. Inner space, going within. I talked about that today. I talked about going within yourself, doing the healing work, and you gaining enlightenment. And because universal knowledge and wisdom does flow from within, and it is true that we all do have access to it. It's, you can channel higher knowledge if you give yourself the time and space to actually go and do that. And God will start dropping stuff in to you that will allow you to do what it is you need to do if you give space for God to do that, which means like meditation, just sitting still, being reflective. Be calm and keep going. So, at the moment it feels like you, as I said, you're feeling stuck and stagnant and you're starting to worry about things. You're starting to get bothered by the fact that things aren't going the way that you like. But that doesn't mean that they're going to stay that way. And, today Spirit's giving you the keys in order to unlock yourself, and to move forward in the flow by keeping it simple. Great change, transformation, and action requires in order to make those things happen for you. Life lessons again. This was also in pile 1. Life lessons again. It's just like, yes, they are life's lessons again. You are in school, my darlings. And I know when I see this card, I always think, oh, life lessons again. So when will it ever end? It never ends. And I always think of that when I see this card. But it's not about the frustration. It's embracing the path, embracing the journey. Love the journey by loving yourself. Start seeing your life from a different perspective. Allow yourself perspective. Allow yourself room to grow. Allow yourself room to breathe. Allow yourself room to be you. That is a major life lesson. And yes, you will keep having them, the same lessons, over and over again, in increasing degrees of difficulty and increasing degrees of stress, until you actually get the lesson. Because if at first tapping on the back of the lesson, Spirit, can't get you to understand it, they'll hit you over the head with a book. That I know it sounds a horrible way of saying it, but it's equivalent to that. If at first doing this doesn't work, they'll go bang, knock some sense into you with the lesson. So it is about maybe stopping to actually look at the lesson, look at what's going on in your life, look at the pattern, because it's the patterns that keep repeating that which are the lessons you need to learn from. And if you keep having a repeating pattern in your life, it's because you haven't actually learned that lesson yet. And so it's about gifting yourself the space, time, and reflection in order to heal and to learn those lessons, and to give forgiveness and live from a space of non-judgment. Because if you start judging the lesson, you miss the point of it. And go within. Go within. Look at this, like you are being asked to go within so that you can heal yourself, so that you can find enlightenment on your path. Take action towards your spiritual path on this planet. You're being asked to do that today. Right, let's have a look. You've got the Arcturian light codes, evolutionary downloads, recalling power, future thinking. I will read you the meaning of this card. Okay, just find the... Arcturus is a giant red star that is among the brightest stars seen from the northern hemisphere. It is around 25 times larger than our sun and can be found just beyond the Big Dipper. Many believe that there are light beings living on a blue planet orbiting Arcturus who are in the fifth or even higher dimension. Some think they could be a prototype of what is possible on planet Earth. They are described as blue beings, for when they appear to those who can see them clairvoyantly, they are often blue-skinned or emanating blue light in their auric field. I met them the other night. They're definitely blue. That's all I can say on that one. The Arcturian races are here to help those on Earth who feel called to facilitate healing and to move beyond draconian and patriarchal ways of being. They guide us to realize that we have a great opportunity to evolve beyond these limited states, and if we don't, we'll be stuck on a karmic wheel for thousands. I mean, look at this. It looks like the karmic wheel, doesn't it? I've forgotten the name of that wheel, but for the purposes of this illustration, it's a karmic wheel. Whatever. It will be stuck on a karmic wheel for thousands of years before we get the next opportunity. If you feel called to the Arcturians for all this information, it could indicate past, future incarnations on the Arcturian planet, or that you have Arcturian guides working with you. You can evolve to a greater state of being now. This is your message. This begins with how you approach even the most mundane of tasks in your own little universe. Show up in ways you've never showed up before. Instead of checking out on this planet, saying, bye Felicia, I can't be asked, I'm just going to sit in my stagnant energy and have, be in umbrage over stuff. I just think to myself, why would you want to do that? Check out. It's such a prominent time on this planet. Instead of feeling that life is happening to you, realize that you have a huge part to play. Recall your power. Realize that you are the evolution of humanity, and it's time to become the leader you were born to be. Oh, how about taking action, transformation, change, simplicity, and flow. You're being asked to step up today by your soul, by your higher self. Realize that you're part of the evolution of humanity, and it's time to become a leader that you were born to be. It doesn't matter if you're leading yourself or a larger group. The key is to create more loving ways of doing that. Oh my gosh, heal you, heal the world. Universal love is true love. So love all. If you have been hearing high-pitched noises, seeing flickering lights, or sensing that you're being visited by beings in your sleep, know that you're receiving downloads from heaven and the Arcturians are with you. Honor the ideas and thoughts that you have been having recently. There you go. What a message. Archangel Michael comes to you with God is in charge. And God is in charge. You just got to remember that everything is source, and we are all part of source experiencing itself. And source has a plan, and we're part of that plan. And so it's about opening ourselves up to realizing that we're not alone on our pathway and journey. We are all working together, and we all have a plan. So it's allowing that plan to unfold, and you have to step up today. You're being asked to step up today on that pathway. Whispers. So listen to the whispers of your soul. Listen to, because I mean, for me, when my higher self is talking to me, or my guides, they're the whispers within. They're not my ego's voice that's really loud in my head. It is literally listening to the whispers of source. And they do talk to you if you listen. Oh, no way. Oh my gosh, look, check it out. I think you're being asked today to actually, like, work on your enlightenment. Oh my word. I can't believe that came out twice. Grounding. You're being asked to get grounded. So going out into nature is going to be important for you, because being out in nature, you can get grounded. You can actually be in contact with Gaia. Gaia is a conscious living entity. She is actually a being that in her own right. And her energy field actually interacts with ours. And that's why people sleep on grounding sheets, because she removes the excess charge from this light being body, because we are energy beings. And so her energy complements our own. And when we wear shoes, we cut ourselves off from that. So go out into nature, take off your shoes and socks, stand on earth, connect with Gaia, go out and sit down in nature and just be with the planet in the calming, peaceful space that she is. And speak to her, open up your consciousness to her, open up your body to the energies of the earth by standing on her. And, it will help you with pain, inflammation. It will help you energetically with your ascension journey and pathway. Divine animals. Because, nature, the animals. Have you got pets? If not, do you want pets? Because this is about animals that help us heal our heart space. They help us on our path and journey. And it might be, if you've got that feeling and that need for an animal in your life, it could be that spirit is saying, right now you need a healer to help you heal. Let go. Oh, look at that. Look, oh my gosh. This message is so clear. I mean, look, spirit's saying let go. Let go of the feeling that you feel that you're stagnant in your life. Let go. Even the Arcturians came with that message today about you stepping up and getting out your own way and listening to your inner voice. The inner voice, the whispers, the guides. Go within. Do you see where this is going? Heal yourself and you start healing the world, because we are all one. And on the bottom of the deck, it's remembrance of who you are. Healing again. And there is only light and soul love. And if you want wellness, time to start working on yourself and your healing, because, your body, mind, and spirit is all in alignment, right? You are aligned. You are an aligned being. So everything is connected, including your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. Everything affects the other. So if something's out of alignment, you can get sick. If something's out of alignment, you could have mental health problems. If something's out of alignment, like because you haven't done the healing within your soul, you carry those through to your physical body and your actual life here on earth, because past life issues affect current life decisions. So what you might want to do is check out my past life readings on healing with a tarot. Anyway, my darlings, this has been your reading today. My love to you all. I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you have, please leave me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. It's free to do. I upload every Monday and Thursday, and I will be back with another reading on Advice Would Be Nice next Thursday, and it is Divine Feminine Relationship Issues. So that one will be for all the ladies. And I always say, though, because we are divine feminine and divine masculine, there's always messages for everyone in my readings. Don't think that just because it's designed for the guys or designed for the girls that it is just for them, because there's messages for everyone in every reading that I do. I will be back with you on Monday. Bye, my loves.